Darkwing Duck is an exciting side-scrolling action game for the NES. It was developed by Capcom and is very similar to their popular Mega Man games. You'll be able to select which level you'd like to play, navigate moving platforms while blasting enemies with your gun, and each stage ends with a challenging boss fight. Unlike Mega Man, Darkwing can block projectiles with his cape, and he can grab onto hooks or platforms, which adds a unique wrinkle to the gameplay. Darkwing Duck is the fourth Capcom-developed game based on characters from the Disney Afternoon, a highly successful block of animated television that aired in the 1990s, produced by Disney and distributed by Buena Vista Television. You can make a good argument that Darkwing Duck is a spin-off of DuckTales, but it's more like an extension of the DuckTales multiverse. It's a satirical superhero show about a masked vigilante, inspired by characters like Batman, The Shadow, and even a little bit of James Bond. Darkwing Duck himself is voiced by Jim Cummings, who you might recognize as the voice of Monterey Jack or Fat Cat from Rescue Rangers, and he's been doing the voices of Winnie the Pooh and Tigger since the late 1980s. Unlike Batman, Darkwing Duck has a daughter named Gosalyn who often throws a wrench into his plans. Gosalyn is voiced by Christine Cavanaugh, who also voiced Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory, Babe the Pig, and Chucky Finster from Rugrats, who even looks a bit like Gosalyn. Launchpad from DuckTales is Darkwing Duck's sidekick, and is voiced by Terrence McGovern, the original voice of Launchpad. Gizmo Duck also appears in several episodes, but they never mention anything about the adventures of Scrooge McDuck. The 2017 DuckTales reboot does have a crossover episode titled Let's Get Dangerous, where Scrooge and the boys visit the city of St. Canard and meet up with the famous superhero. The game features many characters from the show, including BUSHROOT, Megavolt, and Quackerjack, but the developers also created a new villain, the werewolf named Wolfduck, who does not appear in the show, but was later featured in a Darkwing Duck comic book. With only 7 levels, the game is on the shorter side, but it is a good bit more challenging than other games in the Disney Afternoon series. The graphics look great and the controls work well. The soundtrack will have you humming along as you play, and even includes an 8-bit chiptune rendition of the classic theme song. If you like games like Mega Man, you'll certainly find something to like here. Darkwing Duck was well received when it released in North America in June of 1992, and it wouldn't reach Europe until over a year later in December of 1993. Critics, gamers, and fans of the show all agreed that it was a high-quality game, on par with the high standards Capcom had set for their Disney series. The game got a fairly faithful adaptation for the Game Boy in 1993, although the Darkwing Duck game for the TurboGrafx-16 is completely different. DuckTales and Rescue Rangers both got sequels on the NES, but Darkwing never did. In 2018, a prototype was developed for a Darkwing Duck remake filled with extra content similar to WayForward's DuckTales Remastered. The game promised much larger levels and gave Darkwing a new grappling hook to use, but sadly Capcom passed on the project, and it was never completed.
Boo hiss! We want Darkwing! We want Darkwing!
If you'd like to play Darkwing Duck on a modern platform, it is available as part of the Disney Afternoon Collection on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Modern players that attempt this game will still have to deal with all of the challenges the NES is notorious for. The enemies are relentless, and Darkwing can only take a few hits before he's defeated. The platforming can be quite challenging. One wrong move could be instant death. But what if I told you the best way to survive all 7 treacherous stages? What if I showed you how to find tons of 1-ups and secret bonus stages? And what if I told you the best way to defeat every boss? Even Steelbeak himself? Well, on today's episode of You Can Beat Video Games, we'll learn all of that and more. If you're new to the channel, we're doing deep dives on retro video games and giving you the professional strategies that can be used by the casual gamer. Please make sure to subscribe and check out youcanbeatvideogames.com for episode lists, news, and official You Can Beat Video Games merchandise. And please join our Patreon for access to an exclusive Discord community and a chance to vote on future episodes. This episode was voted on by members of our Patreon community. Let's get dangerous. Alright, Darkwing Duck. This game starts out with a fun cutscene, so we'll let that play out for a minute before we get started. Darkwing Duck may be similar to Mega Man, but understanding how the two games are different will be key to your success. Whenever we start up a new game, we're going to have the opportunity to choose between 3 different stages, and I recommend that we go to the sewers first. It doesn't actually matter which one you choose, you won't be winning a weapon from the boss, but there's a lot of extra lives in the sewers, so that's why I like to start there. It seems that a mysterious crime wave has swept over the city, but it's not actually that mysterious. We all know that the felonious organization for world larceny, or F.O.W.L for short, they're the ones that are behind it. So as the game starts up, choose the stage on the right side and head to the sewers. A cloud of smoke and he appears, the master of surprise. As we get started here in the sewers, you're going to head over to the right and you're just going to jump up and you'll automatically grab onto this platform. If you jump again, you'll go through it, and if you hold down when you press jump, you can drop through some platforms. And if you shoot over here, you'll find the game's first bonus stage. You'll be able to find 2 bonus stages in every level of the game, and they'll always come in 2 different formats. This one, where you're hanging from the hooks and trying to knock the capsules down so that Goslin can catch them below, is by far the more difficult of the 2. If you fall off the hooks, you'll end the bonus stage, but at least you won't die. You need to actually contact the capsule while jumping to make it drop, so try to hit as many capsules as you can, and if you see a good item, position Goslin below so that she can grab it. Completing a bonus stage will take you back to the nearest checkpoint, and here in the sewers, that's the beginning of the stage. Holding up will allow Darkwing to block some projectiles. These enemies are very similar to the Sniper Joes that you may have faced in the Mega Man games. Wait for them to shoot, and that will give you an opening to shoot back. That icon on the right is heavy gas, but we picked up the arrow gas earlier, and you can only have one type of gas at a time, so press select to switch to your arrow gas here, and you'll be able to climb up onto the arrow itself, and that will take you to a hidden area. Over here, you'll be able to find 3 1-ups, and you'll need to use your arrow gas again to climb up this wall on the right side. Drop through the platform to get the gold bars, and then walk onto this platform, although you'll notice you can actually stand in mid-air here, but you want to actually walk onto the green platform and then press down and jump to drop through it, and then hop up through to the other side to get the last 1-up. Once you've grabbed all the loot, head back to the left, and you'll see that if you don't have the arrow gas, you would just normally drop down here and you would not be able to collect any of that stuff. Whenever you're hanging from one of those levers, the lights will turn on in this area, and that will allow you to see where the crows are hiding. If you step on a banana peel, you'll be temporarily disabled, but you won't actually take damage. Ideally, you'd like to take out the crows before they jump up and try to fly towards you. It takes 2 hits to remove each crow. Over here, make sure to let this little guy pop out of the ground before you move over to the right, You'll need to hit him after he pops completely out of the ground, and it takes 2 hits to defeat him. You can't block the fireballs that he throws with your cape, and there's another one over here on the right, so don't be surprised by that guy, and if you already have the arrow gas, don't pick up the thunder gas above. The arrow gas is the most powerful of the 3 gas items that you can have, and while the other 2 gases have their uses, most of the time you'll prefer arrow gas. The alligators in this area take 3 hits from your standard weapon or 1 arrow gas to kill. You want to make sure to hit them from far away, or you can hide down here and let them jump over you. Sometimes it's better just to avoid the enemies. You can leap from this green platform down to the left to get a 1-up, and then grab it from the bottom and jump up on top, take out the kangaroo over to the right, and if you leap up into the air, you'll find the second bonus stage. This bonus stage is much easier than the other one. You're on solid ground here and you can shoot the capsules with your gun. You also don't have to worry about Goslin catching them at the bottom of the screen, you can just grab them yourself. The best way to handle this bonus stage is to stay towards the middle and shoot as many capsules as you can. Their contents are totally random, so don't head over to the right to grab items unless something good drops over there, like a 1-up, or if you're low on health, maybe a first aid kit, or perhaps a large gas canister. It's just a bit harder to climb up from the right side, so focus on collecting the items that fall to the left. Once you finish the bonus stage, you'll return to the checkpoint, which is the mid-level checkpoint this time, so carefully work your way back to the right. Drop down to this lower ledge where you can shoot at this kangaroo safely, and then hide under here and wait for the alligator to pass by before you head back to the green platform on the right. This time, if you want to go down to the bottom, you can grab the diamond down there, but it's only worth 100 points, and then you want to make sure that you're on top of this platform until you get around that first set of spikes, and then if you want to, you can drop down here and take out that kangaroo, or you can just jump over him and head over onto this set of platforms. This part is tricky. You need to jump up at just the right time or you'll take damage, and then you need to drop back through the platform and then tap down to fall to this one. Head over to the right and make a big jump to get on top of that platform, and make sure to grab this platform close enough to the center so that it will start moving. If you grab it all the way on the left, you'll be in trouble. Make sure to take out that alligator before heading over to the right, and then there will only be one more kangaroo between you and the boss's room. This soggy dog is the Liquidator. He starts out the battle by transforming into a puddle, kind of like Alex Mack, and he can't be damaged when he's in puddle form. Whenever he turns back into a dog, that's when you want to try to take a few shots at him with your arrow gas if you have it. Now, if you don't have the arrow gas, I recommend using your standard weapon. Liquidator always starts out by taking a small step to the left, and then he turns back into dog form, and he'll summon one of 2 different water attacks. The ones that have the little tails at the bottom just go straight up in the air, and they're the easier ones to avoid. The other ones that are more oval shaped, they will home in on your position, but they always fly downwards, so if you climb up onto the pipe in the middle, you should be able to easily avoid them. Just keep shooting at the Liquidator whenever you have a chance, and he will be liquidated. You'll earn 5,000 points for each boss you defeat, and as your points tally up at the end of each stage, you'll earn an extra life whenever you cross certain thresholds. You will not be able to return to a stage that you've already completed, and once again, the order that you finish them in is not terribly important, so we're going to head to the one on the left, which will take us to the bridge. Here at the beginning, we can experiment with the thunder gas that fires 2 projectiles at a 45-degree angle. Unlike the arrow gas, thunder gas only uses 2 of your gas reserves per shot. Arrow gas takes 3. Jump from hook to hook here, grab the 1-up, and then shoot into the air on the right to find the bridge's first bonus stage, and it's the easier of the 2 bonus stages, the one where the capsules fall from the sky and you just need to shoot them with your gun and grab the prizes. If you fall into that gap between the buildings, you will automatically end the bonus stage, but at least you won't die. If you need to get back up from the right side, you'll have to grab onto that satellite dish, which works the same as any other hook that you could grab onto. As this bonus stage wraps up, we're going to be taken back to the beginning of the stage, so we'll have to go through this part again. You'll notice that any items you've collected won't be there anymore, and be careful whenever you grab that lever to make the steel beam fall down. If it falls onto Darkwing, you'll take damage. Jump from this beam, and we don't need to use the hooks this time. We can just go across the bottom because we already collected the 1-up and did the bonus stage. And down here, we're going to need to grab the bottom of these platforms and jump up. Take out that bat and take out this foul Eggman from below, and then continue your climb. We're going to have to cross some hooks over here, so let's talk about how to do that. Jump towards the hook and then hold up. Once Darkwing has grabbed the hook, you don't need to hold up anymore, so you'll be able to press right as you jump across. Just make sure that you press up again to grab onto the next hook. You can drop down here to grab some gold bars, and over on the left, you'll find the second bonus stage. This is going to be the bonus stage where we're hanging from the hooks and trying to bust the capsules. And remember, if you fall off the bottom here, that's it. So just focus on trying to break some of the capsules, and if you see something that you want, you'll need to work your way over towards that object so that you can collect it at the bottom. You can also press left and right while Darkwing is hanging onto a hook so that you can switch which side the net is on at the bottom, and doing that can be very helpful. Once the time expires here, we're going to return to this checkpoint right after that string of hooks, so we don't have to do that again, but we do have to grab onto this pulley and then drop down and grab onto this one. Make sure that you jump up and grab the next pulley above before you drop off the edge, and then you can grab onto these levers to make your way across. There does not seem to be anything hidden up above those spikes on the right. Down here we are very close to the boss's room, but there's more of those Sniper Joe type enemies. If you have the Thunder Gas, you can actually hit this one from down below where you'll be totally safe, but I recommend that we grab the Heavy Gas for the boss, although if you know how to defeat this boss, he's not actually that difficult. Heavy Gas shoots up in a small arc, and when it hits the ground, it will spread out in 2 different directions, and it uses 2 of your gas ammo for each shot. Over on the right side, we'll be able to collect another first aid kit, but you don't actually have to go across the top to get it. You could go on the bottom if you prefer, although watch out for those slug enemies. You'll need to duck down to take them out. And once we remove this last Sniper Joe, we'll be able to head through the door and face Quackerjack. The key to defeating the Clown Prince of Toys is to move over to the right a bit and then take a step back to the left so that the banana guy at the top of the screen is right above you and throwing the peels to your side. Once you're safe from the peels, drop down so that you're hanging from the lowest platform and unload some heavy gas on the boss. If it gets close to you, pop up to the platform above and let him pass beneath you. Without the heavy gas, it's a little bit harder, but we're going to start out by getting into that safe spot so that we can avoid the banana peels. Now, you don't want to move left or right at all, but you're going to need to drop down, and as soon as you get on the same level as Quackerjack, he's going to stop moving for a second, which will give you an opportunity to hit him with a few shots, and then he'll jump up to the next level or drop down below. If you're at the very top, make sure that you're holding down when you press the jump button to drop through the platform, otherwise you'll jump up and hit the spikes above, which will make you take damage. It's certainly much easier with the heavy gas, but if you don't have to deal with the banana peels that are raining down from above, this boss is much easier no matter which weapon you have. Once again, we'll be able to collect our 5,000 points, and there will only be one stage to choose from now, so pick the one in the middle, and it's time to take on Wolfduck. We'll find him in the city center, and although you'd think a werewolf will be a lot more dangerous at night, whenever we get to the stage, it seems to be the middle of the day. When you head to the right here and climb up onto the first platform, you can jump back to the left and you'll find the first bonus stage. This guy's name is J. Gander Hooter. I can't make this stuff up. And it's the easier of the two bonus stages where you have 30 seconds to shoot as many capsules. So this will help you get a head start here in the city center, blast as many capsules as you can, and try to collect the ones with the large gas canisters, 1-ups, or anything else you might need. If you've already taken a lot of damage, you can pick up some health power-ups, but you probably didn't at this point in the stage. Well, just a few seconds left. Whenever this bonus stage wraps up, we'll be taken back to the beginning of the city center, and we can continue our journey to the right. There's a lot of those flamethrower guys in this stage, and the easiest way to deal with them is to get close, wait until it pops up, and quickly shoot 2 times before it has a chance to shoot back at you. Over here we can grab the arrow gas, which we will definitely be using later, and if you're riding on one of these wheels, you need to move with it or you will be left behind. Watch out for the banana peels here, jump between them and take out this flamethrower guy on the right, then grab the hook and climb up the skyscraper. Over on the left side you can drop back down to get a first aid kit and restore your health, and then continue working your way to the top. There's some thunder gas up here, but we have the arrow gas already, and we're going to need it to get a few bonuses ahead. Watch out for this banana peel, although if you do hit it, usually you'll still be able to avoid the enemies. Drop down and make your way to the right. Over here we'll encounter our first turtle. You can't damage a turtle when it still has its shell, but it will eventually throw it towards you, and it will boomerang back to the turtle, giving you a short opening to fire back. Up here we can take out this turtle, and once he's removed, we're going to use our arrow gas to climb up the wall on the left, where we'll be able to grab that first aid kit. So use your arrow gas, shoot it to the left, grab onto the arrow, and then climb up on top of that digital clock, and if you drop down below and fire to the right, you'll find the second bonus stage. Now's a good time to practice our hook jumps as we try to break through the capsules and expose the contents inside. If you happen to find something good, remember you don't actually get it unless you collect it with the net below, and Goslin will move along with Darkwing's horizontal position. So make sure if you see something good, you collect it, and don't worry as much about collecting the other capsules until you get that good item. We'll try to grab this diamond, and as time expires, we'll head back to this checkpoint, and once again we'll have to get through the turtles, although you'll notice if you're a good jumper, it is possible to leap over them. Jump on this pump a few times to make a balloon appear, and then grab it to float over to the right side. You don't need to let go in the middle, just keep holding on, and you can skip all of those platform jumps below. Nice! This obnoxious enemy needs to be hit directly in the head, and will try to duck under your shots. Once he's removed, go to the very edge of the platform on the left, take a jump and use your arrow gas, and then climb up onto the arrow to get the 2 1-ups above. It's kind of tough to do, but there's no time limit in this game, so take as much time as you need, and eventually you should be able to get up there. Take out this turtle from below and let the shell fly off screen before heading to the right. Make sure to hold up whenever you grab onto that hook in the background, and you can jump from the first one on the left all the way across to the right. You don't need to use both. At the top you'll find a first aid kit, and down here we'll find the boss, Wolfduck. You can't damage Wolfduck until he shrinks down to his normal size, but you can shoot the box that he tries to throw at you. Whenever Wolfduck grows to his larger size, he'll either throw a box at you, or he'll jump to the other side of the screen and then throw a box at you. After that, he'll change back into his small size where he'll be vulnerable. Try to be on the opposite side of the boss whenever he turns into his larger form, and if you see him jumping towards you, run across the room to the other side. As soon as he shrinks down into his smaller form, try to get in as many shots as you can, but don't get hit by the boss as he runs towards you. You can drop down into the lower area, and if you stay against the wall, he'll just jump over your head. The arrow gas deals the most damage to this boss, so definitely use that if you have it, but if you need to fight him with your standard weapon, he's not that difficult to beat. Wolfduck is an interesting design, but I'm not sure why the developers took the time to create an all-new character when there are so many other Darkwing Duck villains to choose from. After you complete the first 3 levels, you'll find that there are 3 new ones for you to tackle. Once again, it doesn't matter too much which order you complete them in, so we'll start with the one in the middle, and that will take us to the warehouse, where we can challenge Megavolt. Stay out of the water here at the beginning of the stage. Darkwing may be a duck, but he definitely cannot swim in this game. Use the hook to get up to this platform and shoot up into the air to find the first bonus stage. As J.G. Hooter explains, it's the good kind of bonus stage, where we can shoot at the canisters to find items. As usual, we'll stay towards the middle and focus on the items that fall to the left side. Only venture off to the right side if something particularly good falls over there, like a 1-up or perhaps a full gas canister. For now, just keep collecting as many items as you can, and whenever the time expires, we'll be taken back to the beginning of the warehouse. Make your way to the right, once again avoiding the water and shooting any foul eggmen that get in your way. There's also a bat here, so you want to take him out, and then grab the hook and jump across to the right. Make sure to grab onto this pulley and then press down to drop off when you get to the end. Over on the left side, you can grab this heavy gas if you want it, but if you already have arrow gas, you're better off keeping what you got. Wait patiently on this hook for the platform to get low enough so you can jump onto it, and then we have to deal with the genies. The genies are a difficult enemy type. You have to attack the lamp, and you can crouch down to shoot it. However, you can't damage the lamp until the genie pops out of it, so you want to run towards the lamp, quickly crouch down when you get close, and blast it 3 times as the genie appears. If you do it fast enough, the genie won't be able to shoot at you. If you have the arrow gas, I recommend using it there to get out from underneath that ledge. If you don't use the arrow gas there, it's quite dangerous and you could end up falling into that instant death pit. Consider skipping those items if you don't have the arrow gas, and as you ride this pulley across to the right, if you jump up and shoot at the wall, you can find the second bonus stage. It's this bonus stage again, where you need to try to jump from hook to hook so that you can pop open the capsules, and then collect any items that come out as they fall below. Remember that the net and the helicopter are related to Darkwing's horizontal position, and if you're close to an item, you can rapidly tap left and right. Sometimes that'll help you pick it up. Just be careful not to fall off the bottom of the screen. That's your #1 priority and is far more important than grabbing the things with the net. Once you're finished in the bonus stage, ride this pulley over to the right, drop down below where you can grab a first aid kit, and then I recommend taking the upper path here, although if you end up on the lower path, there will be an opportunity to climb up right here with a set of hooks. If you happen to have thunder gas, it's very effective against these flying carpet men because it can go through the wall, although if you have the arrow gas, that's going to be better for the boss, so I recommend staying with the arrow gas if you have it, but if you do have thunder gas, you'll find some good uses for it here. Just avoid that genie lamp and quickly make your way to the top, take out another flying carpet man, and then get ready for a cat that will attack you as you move to the right. Take out this flying carpet man or let him sail below you, and then you should be able to jump over the last one as you collect a first aid kit, and then a big gas canister before heading into the boss's room. Try to stay on the opposite side of Megavolt and take shots at him when you have a chance. Never drop down to the bottom tier because you have to avoid a fast-moving spark down there, and it's much easier to avoid it if you just never go down to the bottom. If Megavolt shoots a spark towards you, jump to avoid it, but if he shoots one that goes straight up into the air, you need to start moving, and as long as you're moving, you won't be hit whenever it falls back down. It won't take too much to defeat Megavolt, but if you have the arrow gas, that's the best weapon to use against this guy. Something that you should be aware of while using the arrow gas is you need to make sure you're far enough away from the enemy so that the arrow actually appears when you shoot it. When I shot at the boss from the center while hanging from the hooks, the arrow did not appear, so that shot did not deal full damage. It'll only take 6 arrow gas shots to finish off Sparky, and then we'll be able to grab our 5,000 point reward, and there will only be 2 more stages left to choose from. Next up, Professor Molearity is developing a monstrous new machine in the tower, so we'll have to head over there and put a stop to it. The tower looks like it could be an extension of the bridge level where we fought Quackerjack, but this one is much more vertically oriented. You can block the basketballs that the kangaroos throw at you, and you'll want to pull down that first lever to be able to get up to this platform, and if you shoot over to the left, you'll be able to find the first bonus stage. This is the good old capsule blasting bonus stage, so remember to stay towards the middle, and do your best to collect as many capsules as you can before the time runs out. If you want to grab something on the right side, remember that it's going to take a good bit of time to climb back up using the radar dish, so only head over to the right if something very good drops. This is a great opportunity to refill our gas reserves, and also to pick up some extra points. As the time expires, we'll be sent back to the beginning of the tower, and we'll have to begin our ascent again. Grab the lever and then hold on to the chain and ride it up to a higher platform. Take out any kangaroos that are in your way, and continue to work your way to the right. Once you get over to the far right side, it's going to be time to start the climb. When you get up here, you want to head over to this platform on the right, and you'll be able to take out that robotic dog without it being able to reach you. From here, you'll want to continue to shoot the robotic dogs and either jump over them or cling to a higher platform to avoid them when they get close. It takes quite a few shots to take out one of them. Over here, you'll find the thunder gas, but of greater interest is the arrow gas on the right side, although the thunder gas isn't bad for taking out that kangaroo in the middle. You'll be able to easily defeat the boss of this stage with your standard weapon, but we will use the arrow gas later to get a bonus. Climb up the left side, and when you get to the top, ride this platform across to the right to pick up the large gas canister. Jump on top of this platform and ride it over to the left. As you work your way back across to the right, you'll be able to jump from a series of levers and chains up to this higher platform where you can get an extra life. There's more basketball kangaroos over here. I recommend taking out this one at the bottom and then jumping from the lever to the chain. Just in case you mess it up, you won't land on an enemy. Over here, there's 2 more of those kangaroos, and once you take out this last one, you'll be able to drop down this shaft to the mid-level checkpoint. Down here, we'll face more of these obnoxious enemies. Try to time a light jump so that you can hit them right in the face. Make your way across to the right, jump to this upper platform to grab some diamonds, and also easily avoid the enemy below. Then you'll need to climb up here. Time your jump carefully so that you can take out that enemy, and do the same thing to this one. Those guys can be tricky. Grab this gas canister, jump up above the turtle, and shoot to the left to find the second bonus stage. Of course, it's that hanging from the hooks bonus stage, so do your best to collect whatever you can. If you've taken some damage, be on the lookout for a first aid kit, and we are going to be using our arrow gas up ahead, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to find a gas canister. Of course, 1-ups are always useful, and you may want to try to pick up some extra points as well. Just do your best and try to stay up on the hooks, and you should be able to collect a decent amount of items. Once we run out of time, we'll be sent back to the checkpoint. At least they dropped us off on the lower platform, so we don't have to deal with that enemy at the top. Use this upper platform to cross over to the right, and then it will be time to climb again. You need to shoot these enemies in the head, and you'll want to wait until they're walking away from you to pop up there. So jump up when they're walking away and try to take a couple shots at the face, and you can just stay on the left and avoid the first 2 turtles, but this one you'll need to either take out or wait until it throws its shell to jump over. Keep climbing up, and when you get up to the next platform, if you have the arrow gas, you can shoot it to create a platform, and you'll be able to collect a first aid kit and a 1-up. After collecting the loot, climb up the left side. If you did not have the arrow gas, you'll need to use the spotlights on the right side to climb up. Either way, you'll need to take out this turtle, and once he's defeated, you'll be able to grab this spotlight and finally get to the top of the tower. There's another one of those ducking enemies at the top, and why yes, spell check. This time I did mean ducking. And if you want to get a first aid kit, you'll need to deal with this turtle first. So jump whenever the turtle throws his shell, get in a few shots, and once the turtle's defeated, you can safely grab that first aid kit, drop down below, grab the spotlight, and head to the boss's room. As soon as you get into the room, take a step to the right, then drop all the way to the bottom. The professor will be fixing the machine down there, and as soon as he fixes it, you want to jump up to the spotlight and break it again. This will force the professor to fix the machine another time, and will give you a good opportunity to shoot at him. Jump up to the light a little bit early and get ready to break the machine again, and just keep repeating this pattern until he's defeated. I don't have an easier way to defeat this boss with a different weapon, so this is the only strategy you'll need. And that leaves us with just one stage left, the forest. Let's head there and take on BUSHROOT. The pink flowers that coil around tree trunks in this stage are some of the most dangerous enemies in the game. I recommend staying far back and attacking them when possible, and if you just stand right here, that doghouse will jump right over you, and you'll be able to run by the second pink flower with no problem. Take your time and take out this third pink flower before moving forward, and as soon as you drop down, shoot at the doghouse to quickly take it out. Jump across this vine, and at the end you'll need to fight another pink flower. If you can catch it high up in the tree, you should be able to remove it, and be aware that those doghouse enemies can jump upwards, so you're not safe just because you're on higher ground. Move slowly to the right here, and you should be able to take out these owls before they fly up and attack you. So carefully shoot at the owls, and if you move too fast, they will start flying and attack your position. If you grab onto this lantern and shoot to the left, you'll find the first bonus stage of the forest, and it's the good old hook hanging one. Alright, everyone's favorite. We're doing pretty well on supplies at this point in the game, but if you need some more gas or health, you may be able to find those items here. And it would always be good to find some extra lives. You can continue as much as you want in this game, but there is a mid-level checkpoint in every stage, as well as a checkpoint at the boss, so having more lives will certainly be useful. This bonus stage will take you all the way back to the beginning, and it's a decent amount of backtracking, so you'll have to decide if that one's worth it, especially considering it's the hook hanging bonus stage and not the easier one where you can shoot at the capsules. I am committed to finding all of the bonus stages on this run, but if you're just trying to beat the game, it may be easier to not go to that bonus stage. Continue to the right and you'll get back to the owls. Remember to go slowly forward here so that you can take out the owls while they're at rest, and not when they're flapping in the air and trying to attack you. If you get a bit impatient, they will jump up and start to attack, so keep that in mind. We'll drop down this time and grab the diamond, and then you want to jump over to this vine and be ready to take out an owl as soon as you land. There's another one at the end, and then another one of those pink flowers before we get back to solid ground. Just like before, if you're patient with the doghouse enemies, they'll just jump harmlessly overhead, and you want to stay far away from that pink flower enemy. That one and this one right here can definitely mess you up if they catch you off guard. The owls in this area are not stationary like the ones we faced before. These ones will be flying in a straight line, and they take 2 hits to kill. As you make your way through this cave, blast any owls that are in your way, but the ones that are flying a bit higher are easy enough to avoid. Wait patiently for this platform and then jump across to the right. There will be some more owls here and then another platform to navigate. Watch out for a fast-moving owl when you get to this platform, and then hop up to the top. You won't need the thunder gas if you already have the arrow gas, and you need to jump over the 3rd waterfall here, or you'll fall through and you won't be able to get the first aid kit. This transitional area looks innocent enough, but if you head over here to the right and walk through the waterfall, you'll find a hidden area with a bunch of lanterns you can grapple onto, as well as a 1-up and some gold bars. You'll also find the 2nd bonus stage above the gold bars on the right. This one is the good bonus stage where you blast the canisters with your gun, so if you only visit one bonus stage here in the forest, make it this one. If you're having trouble grappling onto the lanterns to get over to where this bonus stage is, remember that you need to press up when you get near a lantern to attach to it, but as soon as you're attached, you don't need to hold up anymore, and that'll free you up to push a different direction before you jump again. Just make sure to press up whenever you're near the next lantern. And whenever you're finished in the bonus stage, it will take you back here to the beginning of the waterfall, where you'll need to patiently wait for the platforms again. As you make your way across, you'll notice that there's a thunder gas at the bottom, which is actually good against the boss here, but you'll also find arrow gas down there if you'd prefer it. Continue to make your way down to the bottom, and work your way to the left in this room, and that will take you down here this time. Watch out for these inflated birds. Whenever you shoot one, you need to shoot it a 2nd time, or it'll go flying through the air erratically, and you'll have a good chance of getting hit. You're better off just avoiding those birds, or try to shoot them when you're standing on solid ground. Don't try to shoot them from the vines. That usually ends in disaster. Drop down to this lantern and then jump across, and that will take us to BUSHROOT. If you perfectly time a jump so that you jump exactly as you gain control of Darkwing here in the boss's room, you can make it to the upper vine, where you can easily take out BUSHROOT with a few well-placed arrow gas shots. Normally though, you'll have to drop down below to fight BUSHROOT. Hang from the vine whenever he's bouncing around and take a few shots at the boss. Once he's hit, he'll go up to the top of the screen and he'll animate one of the trees. Try to be on the opposite side of the screen and drop down to solid ground so that you can hold up and deflect the shots. You won't be able to block shots that hit Darkwing in the head or the back, so think carefully about where you're positioning yourself before you start blocking. It's hard to get a lot of shots in on the boss before he goes up into the trees, so use arrow gas if you have it, or you may want to try thunder gas if you can position yourself in such a way that you can hit him with the 45-degree angle blasts. You need to be more concerned about defending yourself when he's up in the trees though, so I think you're better off just using arrow gas or your standard shots, and just be pretty conservative as you fight BUSHROOT. If you're patient, it'll pay off and you will be able to defeat him. With all 6 stages clear, there's only one more location for us to travel to. This will be the final stage, F.O.W.L's Floating Fortress. Let's get dangerous. This will be our greatest challenge yet, And here on the upper deck, we'll be assaulted by dogs that shoot cannonballs at us. Stay under the cannonballs and get in some shots between the blasts. If you have the arrow gas, you can take out these dogs in just a couple shots. Up here, you'll be able to find any of the different gas types that you could want. The thunder gas is decent, but I highly recommend that you stay with the arrow gas. You can even use it to jump over the mast here to easily collect this one up. Continue to work over to the right. When you get to the end, you'll find heavy gas, but I recommend that you stay away from it, and then drop down through the platform to find a large gas canister. 2 more cannonball dogs block our way over here. Get under the cannonballs and shoot at the dogs when you have an opportunity, or use your arrow gas to easily take them out. Believe it or not, there are bonus stages here in the final level of the game, and we'll need to take out this Sniper Joe Duck, and we can shoot up above him to find the first one. So jump up here and shoot to the right, and this will be the last rooftop bonus stage. We won't need the arrow gas to unlock any hidden areas here in the F.O.W.L Fortress, but it's an excellent weapon against some of the more difficult enemies that we'll encounter, and it is the absolute best thing to have against the final boss, so this is a great opportunity to fill up your gas canister reserves. Of course, you know that going to this bonus stage does mean that you're going to have to go all the way across the top of the ship again, so keep that in mind before you decide to go in there. This time we can be a little bit more aggressive with our arrow gas, so you can see how good it is against these cannonball dogs. We'll take the upper path here, and you can try this if you want to. You can actually stand directly in front of a cannonball dog, but it is not recommended. There's a good chance that you'll take a bunch of damage trying to do that, and it's much safer to fight them from below. But I did want you to know that it is possible, and it will get you some style points. This time we're going to stay down at the bottom, hold up to block to get past the Sniper Joe Duck, and once he's defeated, drop down and make sure to grab onto that rope before you fall into the spikes, and definitely don't fall into the instant death pit on the left. This enemy can only be hit from behind, and if you let this second one walk off to the right, he'll be despawned when you head over there. Carefully take out these mice in armor, and when you get over here to the right, you're going to grab onto this lever, and then you need to quickly grab that green platform, jump onto it, and jump to the right. It sounds easy enough to do, but if you mess it up, you'll have to backtrack a little bit, and that robot mouse will respawn and most likely hit you. Down here, you'll grab another rope and jump to the left, and if you jump and shoot high enough, you'll be able to find the game's final bonus stage. And it's the hook hanging bonus stage, so this one is certainly not essential to find, but you're very close to the checkpoint here, so at least doing this bonus stage won't set you back very much. If you've taken the time to get good at this bonus stage, you can usually count on it for some gas canisters, so you can be a little bit more liberal with your arrow gas up above. Once the time runs out, you'll be sent back to the checkpoint, and we'll be able to continue through the final part of the game. Head over to the right where we'll meet our first Terminator Duck. These guys fire shots in groups of 2, and after a few hits they'll burst into flames and then run towards you. Whenever you see a red barrel, there's a dog inside there and he's going to throw that barrel at you. You'll need to retreat back to the left and get to higher ground to avoid it. It's actually kinda hard to get past those barrels otherwise. Get rid of the Terminator Ducks here. It is possible to take out the metal skeleton inside, but usually you just don't have to. You just want to keep shooting them until they walk away, and then they're easy enough to avoid. Grab onto a few more hooks and make your way to the right. You don't want to fall off now. Jump up and shoot this Terminator between its shots, and once it bursts into flames, take a step to the left so you'll have enough room to jump over it as it charges towards you. Go all the way back to get away from that barrel dog, but he won't be there when you return to the right. And if you drop down here, you'll be able to get some more gas canisters and a first aid kit. You'll see thunder and heavy gas here, but we want to stay with arrow gas if you have it for the boss. Watch out for this barrel dog, and after you shoot this Terminator enough times, cling to this platform so that it'll run underneath you. Then you can head to the right, grab a 1-up and a gas canister, and then stay on the left side of this platform to blast this last Terminator, and then avoid it before heading into the boss's room. Steelbeak is the final boss, and as soon as you get into the room, you want to head all the way to the right, then move back to the center, take out the 2 drones that are in front of you, and then jump up to this hook on the left, where you'll be able to take out the glass in front of Steelbeak as you clear any new drones that appear. Once he's defeated, he'll head down to the bottom, and if you have the arrow gas, you can shoot right through the steel shield that he has, and you'll be able to easily defeat him. You can grab the health at the top if you need it, but if you don't have the arrow gas, let's say you have heavy gas instead, here's a different strategy that you can use. Do the same thing at the very beginning, make your way to the upper left hook where you'll be able to take out the glass, and if you have heavy gas, you can rain it down on Steelbeak, assuming that he doesn't have a steel shield. Once he picks up one of those steel shields, you'll need to drop down to the bottom level and wait for him to throw it before you can jump back up onto the hooks and continue your assault with the heavy gas. So just continue to do that. Whenever he's not holding a shield, get up onto the hooks and attack him, and whenever he does pick up a shield, wait until he passes below you, drop down, and get ready to jump over it. If you're totally out of gas and you need to use your standard weapon, do the same thing at the beginning, head to the right, go back to the center, and then climb up to the left so you can shoot out the glass. But this time you're going to have to put yourself in a more vulnerable position to take out the boss's second form. Quickly get down to the bottom so you can get in some cheap hits as soon as he joins you, and be ready to jump over the boss as he runs back and forth across the screen. If he picks up the shield, he will throw it at you. Sometimes he throws it very quickly, but sometimes he'll throw it almost in slow motion, so you need to be ready for multiple different speeds. If you take a bunch of hits when you're fighting Steelbeak, don't forget that first aid kit is up there. That can be your saving grace. And once he's down, that's it. We've done it. We've beaten Darkwing Duck. All we can do is sit back, relax, and enjoy the cheesy ending. I'm a bit surprised that the developers didn't have us fight Megavolt at the end of the game, who's sort of like a bizarro Darkwing, and would have made for an interesting mirror match. Maybe they were saving him for a sequel that never happened. In any case, it seems that F.O.W.L's plans have been foiled, and Darkwing can ride off into the sunset, literally. Well, I hope this video was able to help you finally beat Darkwing Duck and rid the city of St. Canard of evildoers. If it did, make sure to give it a like, and make sure to subscribe for more videos. Because there will always be more superhero civilizations to save, and that's why we'll be back again next week with another video game you can beat. Thanks for watching.